The Sufi Response to Economic Crisis and Poverty. Rebuilding from Within. Assalamu alaikum, and welcome to Sufi Essence with Hammad Syed. The headlines are grim. Economic instability, rising poverty, and a widening gap between the rich and the poor. Millions are struggling, not just for prosperity, but for basic dignity and survival. We often look to economic theories, political policies, or technological fixes for solutions. But what if the deepest roots of our economic woes, and their most profound remedies, lie not just in fiscal policies, but within the human heart and spirit? Today, we delve into the Sufi response to economic crisis and poverty, rebuilding from within. We'll explore how timeless Sufi principles offer a powerful, holistic, sustainable path to alleviating suffering and fostering true societal well-being. Prepare to discover a spiritual antidote to material despair. Part 1. The spiritual roots of economic crisis from a Sufi perspective. Economic crises and widespread poverty are often symptoms of deeper spiritual ailments within individuals and society. Greed and selfishness. The insatiable desire for accumulation. The love of dunya above all else drives exploitation, injustice, and imbalance. When individuals and systems prioritize profit over people, poverty becomes an inevitable consequence. Heedlessness, ghafla, a forgetfulness of Allah and our ultimate purpose. This leads to a disconnection from the divine principles of justice, compassion, and generosity that are vital for a healthy economy. Lack of contentment, Qana'ah, a pervasive dissatisfaction, always wanting more, even when basic needs are met. This fuels endless consumption and exacerbates resource depletion, creating artificial scarcity for many. Disconnection from Baraka, divine blessing. When wealth is pursued without ethical boundaries or gratitude, it loses its Baraka, its divine blessing and capacity to truly satisfy or benefit. It might grow in quantity, but diminishes in quality and impact. Part 2. The Sufi path to inner economic well-being. Before tackling outward poverty, Sufism emphasizes an inward transformation, addressing the spiritual roots of economic suffering. Contentment, Qana'ah, cultivating deep satisfaction with what Allah has provided, knowing that true wealth lies in the heart, not in possessions. This frees one from the endless chase and fosters inner peace, regardless of material circumstances. Asceticism, Zuhd, not abstinence from the world, but detachment from the love of the world. Using worldly resources as a means, not an end, and preventing them from enslaving the heart. This liberates the individual from the anxieties of gain and loss. Trust in Allah, Tawakkul. Complete reliance on Allah as the ultimate provider. This doesn't mean inaction, but a profound inner peace. Knowing that sustenance comes from God, not solely from human effort or market fluctuations. This alleviates the psychological burden of economic insecurity. Gratitude, shukr. Continually acknowledging and appreciating Allah's blessings, even the smallest ones. Gratitude increases baraka and shifts focus from what is lacking to what is abundant. Part 3. Sufi principles for outward economic justice. The inward transformation of the Sufi then naturally extends to outward actions, fostering a more just and compassionate economy for all. Generosity and selflessness, Sakha and Ithor. Sufis are renowned for their immense generosity, giving not just from their surplus, but often from their needs. Ithor means prioritizing the needs of others over one's own. This is the antithesis of greed and the bedrock of true social welfare, zakat and sadaqah, obligatory charity and voluntary charity. These Islamic pillars are foundational. Sufism emphasizes not just the legal fulfillment, but giving with a pure intention, seeking no worldly return, only divine pleasure. It's a continuous act of wealth redistribution, ethical earning and spending, earning through honest, permissible means, and spending responsibly, avoiding extravagance and waste. The Sufi understands wealth as a trust amana from Allah to be used for good. Brotherhood and mutual support. The Sufi community emphasizes strong bonds of brotherhood and mutual support, where members look after each other, ensuring no one is left in destitution. This spirit extends to the wider society, fostering collective responsibility. Part 4. Rebuilding from within. A holistic solution. The Sufi approach to economic crisis and poverty offers a truly holistic and sustainable solution, starting from the individual and radiating outwards. Beyond material fixes, it recognizes that poverty isn't just a lack of money, but often a poverty of spirit, hope, and connection. Solutions must address both material needs and spiritual emptiness. Character transformation. True economic well-being begins with transforming human character. A society of contented, generous, and just individuals will naturally build a more equitable and stable economic system, restoring Baraka by aligning economic activities with divine principles. Through sincerity, generosity, justice, and gratitude, Baraka is restored to wealth. Money then becomes a means of true prosperity and blessing for all, not a source of corruption and disparity. Ethical consumption. A Sufi-inspired approach encourages mindful consumption, distinguishing between needs and wants, promoting sustainability, and reducing the destructive impact of endless material pursuit. Spiritual leadership. Sufi masters often played crucial roles in their communities, not just as spiritual guides, but as arbiters of justice and promoters of social welfare, demonstrating how spiritual insight can lead to practical, ethical governance and economic models. Conclusion. The inner wealth for outer prosperity, the world economic crisis, and the scourge of poverty are indeed daunting challenges. But the Sufi perspective reminds us that true prosperity begins not with external accumulation, but with internal transformation. By cultivating contentment, generosity, trust in Allah, and sincere gratitude, we address the spiritual roots of economic distress within ourselves. This inner wealth then empowers us to engage with the world with justice, compassion, and selfless giving, paving the way for a society where material needs are met and the human spirit is honored. It is a call to rebuild our economies, not just from the outside in, but from the inside out, aligning our material pursuits with the timeless wisdom of the divine. This is truly the essence of Sufi essence. Thank you for joining me on this vital exploration. If this lecture resonated with your spirit, please like this video, subscribe to Sufi Essence with Hammad Syed, and share your thoughts on how spiritual principles can transform our economic realities in the comments below. Till our next profound discussion, may Allah bless us with inner contentment and inspire us to build a more just and compassionate world.